Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. We had a good strong close for the global markets. US markets were up about 0.85 to almost about 1%, and same was the case with European markets. They were up anywhere from 1 to about 2.25%. The primary driver of this rally was the statement or indication coming out from Ben Bernanke that the easy money policy could continue for a while. Remember that some of the Fed members had a different opinion on allowing 85 billion monthly kind of a purchase for the bond buying. So there was a sell-off across the board, but the Bernanke statement has given some kind of a relief. Also the German confidence data that came out, they were positive, and that led to some kind of a positive reaction. Also the HP numbers in US were extremely good, and they have given a very strong positive guidance for next year, so the stock was up almost about 12%. However, today morning when we look at the Asian markets, most of the markets are subdued except Japan, which is up almost about 1.5%, as there are reports that the ADB chief could be the next chief of the Bank of Japan, and that has led to weakness in the yen against the dollar, which is quoting currently at almost about 94 levels. And we are seeing some good action in the export oriented stocks in Japan. However, after the markets were closed in Europe and US, we had a negative news on the UK economic downgrade front, and the rating has been downgraded by one notch by the credit rating agencies, which has been a bit of a dampener for the Eurozone as a whole. Talking about our own markets, friends, we had a subdued kind of a session on Friday, and the major action was seen in the telecom stocks like Bharti and Idea, which were up about 3 to 4%. Also, we had seen very strong action in stocks like DLF and some of the technology names like TCS and Wipro. Talking about the flows, friends, FIs were net buyers to the tune of about 272 crore in the cash market, and the domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of almost about 380 odd crore. And in the index, the FIs were net sellers to the tune of about 390 odd crore. On that note, let me invite Sadhana to take us through important F&O cues, ideas and strategies in the F&O space.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. On Friday session, we have seen market started the day from flattish to positive note, and market remained volatile in a narrow range. If we talk about FIs activity, FIs were net sellers on Friday session of approximately 570 crores, and around 4 lakh shares were added in open interest, and increase in the cost of carry indicating long positions were accumulated at lower levels. Talk about options activity, in call strike side 5700 and 5800 had seen a good number of activity, and on put strike side 5700 as we have seen a good number of activity, and implied volatility also decreased marginally. Overall bias for the market is negative as we are trading below a VWAP of 5900, and on Friday evening RBI has come out with new guidelines for bank license, and we have big events lined up in this week. So overall bias for the market is negative, and we might see minor pullback in the market, and 5900 on closing basis would act as an intermediate hurdle. For intraday perspectives, one can go long on NTPC with a stop loss of 149.40 and India Cement with a stop loss of 83.70, and one can go short on Hindustan Unilever with a stop loss of 463.90. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, over the weekend, the RBI came out with banking license norms, and this would be applicable to all the NBFCs and the PSU irrespective of the group or sectors. Remember friends, earlier there were concerns that the real estate and the brokerages could be excluded from applying for the banking license. So expect some action in some of the NBFCs which are contenders for the banking license, like Shriram group of companies, Shriram Transport Finance and few others, LIC Housing, Mahindra Finance, L&T Finance, IFCI, so on and so forth. At the same time, some of the regional banks which could be the possible contenders for a takeover could also expect some positive action. So banks like Karnataka Bank, City Union Bank, Lakshmi Vilas Bank are the banks where you could expect some positive reaction in today's market. Divestment, there are some further updates as the government is looking at offloading further stakes in Hindustan Copper, THDCIL and NIPCO from April to June quarter, And it's important to remember that the target overall that we could have in the forthcoming budget for the next year is something that the market is keenly watching out for. So you could expect some action in these stocks in today's market. Some positive news for Strides Accolab, as the company is in talks with a Japan-based company for a possible sale of its unit Agila Specialties. Remember, there were some delays in this deal, and in case there is any further update on this, there could be a good amount of positive action in Strides Accolab. So watch out for some positive action in Strides in today's market. Ranbaxy, some positive news as it restarts production of the generic Lipitor for US market. This Ranbaxy stock has corrected over the past few sessions, and this could provide a tradable bounce in the stock. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 404 and a target of about 424 to about 432. Ultratech, some positive news as after 7 years of delay, the company has sought an early decision on the grant of the concession applications for the limestone deposits. So one can go long on Ultratech with a stop loss of 1896 and a target of about 1993 to about 2031. Sun Pharma, some positive news as Sun Pharma Industries Limited has got an approval from its shareholders to spin off and transfer of its domestic formulation business to its wholly owned subsidiary. So one can go long on Sun Pharma with a stop loss of 795 and a target of about 835 to about 855. GMR Infra has decided to exit its first IPP project by selling 70% stake to a Singapore-based company for almost about $650 million. Though GMR has denied it, there are reports that they are in talks with one of the companies. So one can go long on GMR with a stop loss of 17.70 and a target of about 19 to about 19.5. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a nice trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.